Okay, see, I have a very hard job. My job is immensely hard. Sending a person to the moon might be easy. Try sending a human being to the gym. Okay, it's borderline. I get PTSD. Okay, yeah. So it's very difficult to get human beings to even to do the baseline of exercise. And I understand the resistance, and I'm sure a lot of you are connecting with it. That you start exercise for a few days, 2 weeks, you're like, okay, I'll do it later. There's always something else to do. And I'll tell you a funny story. I had a patient about 5 years. I've never forgotten that patient. I told him not to pay also, because he gave me a line to use for the rest of my life. He came, he had high sugars, weight was high. I said, you know what, diet is done, everything's done, medicines are done. It's time to start going to the gym. He said, okay, sir, I'll go to the gym. He goes back home. 6 weeks later, he comes for the follow-up. Sugars are the same, weight is the same. So I said, what happened? Didn't you go to the gym? He said, I went for 2 weeks. After that, I realized I don't have time, so I kept a guy to go instead. In Hindi, he said, मैंने आदमी रखा है. Welcome to my life. Okay? Now, this is the level of responsibility that people take when it comes to exercise, and it's fine. I understand exercise has certain barriers that one has to cross. But in my previous TEDx talk, I talked about athlete identity, how each of us has an athlete within. And unless we find and nurture that athlete, it's always going to be a push. Or I'll have to prescribe exercise to you. 1-1-1, only then you'll go to the gym. So unless you identify with that activity, it won't happen so effortlessly, but you can watch that talk for that. Secondly, what I want to talk about today are just how over the last 7 years, I have taken about 6,000 people to be consistent to the exercise. To whatever plan they have chosen, it's been real hard, but I have utilized social media. WhatsApp communities is what I have been able to leverage. And today I'll teach you the science of this and how you in your own life can leverage the same technology in a very different way to be able to be consistent with your exercise. Okay? So the first thing you learn about is a small story I'll tell you of where I had this idea, this eureka moment. Okay, that how group therapy works in exercise. Second thing I'll tell you is how communities work. How does a WhatsApp group actually work? And third, I'll tell you how you can go do this on your own. So the first step I'll tell you about is how I came across this. So about, I think 8 or 9 years ago, I was invited to train a bunch of people. They wanted to run a 10K marathon. Now these were a diverse group of people, ranging from 15 or 16 years of age to 65 years of age, working professionals, and from different parts of my city. So it was not possible that they would all come to a ground or we would meet. It had to be virtual. So that time we set up a WhatsApp group and everyone came on it, and I used to send a training plan. And they would come meet me individually if they needed to. At the end of the day, 3 months later, they all ran the 10K. And that was fascinating, but it's not an end in itself. What was interesting was a year later, I was called back to the same organization to attend a function, like an annual day function. Turns out one of those guys on that group had gone on to do spectacular things in the world of physical fitness. He had come from an unfit guy to do a triathlon, and he had actually done a long triathlon, like an Ironman. And he stood on stage and he got a little emotional. He spoke about his background, how he had lost his father early, and the first 1/3 of life till he was 30, 35 years of age had been a struggle, financial struggle and other things. And the first thing he did for himself to get his health back was to sign up for this 10K. He said that as part of the program, one weekend, apparently I had said, do a 5K this weekend. And he went and did a 5K. And he posted a photo on the group saying, completed 5K. It so turns out that I right swiped it and gave him an emoji of a thumbs up. And I wrote, good job, Vikram. He said at that point, he realized that he is worthy of someone's appreciation. No one in his entire adult life had ever appreciated him. No one had told him, oh, you've done this task, however small it may be, it was worthy of my appreciation. And he said after that, he never looked back. He went from strength to strength. He started motivating others. And 1 year later, he did an Ironman, which was incredible for me because I was sitting in the audience and I said, I never knew a thumbs up can change someone's life like this. He can change the direction. Today he's highly successful as a real estate developer, and he has gone from strength to strength. He's a role model among his peers. But what was interesting to me was, how did this whole thing happen? What was the catalyst? So I got studying into social media theory. And I found that WhatsApp groups work on very interesting principles. Okay, now I'm talking about purposeful groups, not the family groups. Okay, I'm talking about groups which are built to a purpose, saying, okay, we're going to achieve something, or we are here for a common pursuit of, some kind of purpose, like social work or anything. Now let's take exercise, for example. Now I have groups where we have over 1,000 people on these groups. Now there is a principle in social media, I'm not sure if most of you know it, it's called the 1-9-90 principle. On any social media platform, YouTube, or even a WhatsApp group, 1% of people are active. They are what we call the influencers. They are the content creators. They are the guys who wake up every day and their sole purpose is, I've got to post something on that group. And they post only purposeful content. They don't post random forwards. That's the beauty of the 1%. Now there is a 9%. What are the 9%? So let's take 100 people in a WhatsApp group. Just one of them actually posts every day. 9 of them wake up every day, wait for the 1% to post, and want to show their loyalty by liking it first. So their purpose over there is to motivate the influencer, which is fine. It's a very important purpose because the influencer has to feel that the content he's creating is worth sharing. And more importantly, these 9% take that content and share it outside the group also. So they are distributors also. So not only are they loyal followers, they are active followers, but they are also distributors. Which brings us to the 90%. What are the 90% guys doing? Now they are primarily the audience to start with. They are spectators. They sit on the group, they watch the interaction between the influencer and his followers. They consume content. They get inspired. They also get up and do stuff. They just don't post it. So now that you've understood the 1-9-90 principle, there's one person missing here. Can you guess who that is? That's the person I call, it's of course the admin. I call him the HOD, the head of department. Now why do I call him the head of department? Because my parents have been heckling me to get a PhD for the last, 5 years now. I said after 40, I'm not doing any more formal education. After 6 qualifications, I've had enough. They're like, no, we have to get a PhD. I said, but why? So then you can be HOD somewhere. I said, but I'm HOD on 25 WhatsApp groups. And that's enough for me for this life. But the point to you is, this format of 1-9-90 plus 1 admin. Now what does the admin do actually on a group? He may or may not be an influencer. It may be an organizational group created by someone else. That person maintains hygiene on the group. So whenever people post irrelevant content, either the content is deleted or the person is deleted. Either or. These are, consistently posting wrong content will get action. So at the end of the day, the admin is as important as the influencer in protecting the culture of that group. Okay, now the way this whole thing is structured is for a flow of inspiration. The influencer posts some exercise, the loyal follower watches it, likes it, and may even post their workout back, may or may not. Next comes the follower, the silent observer, who just watches, may or may not post, but 90% of the time gets up and goes to workout. And the last is the admin. So now that you've understood this, let's come to how are you going to apply this in your life. It's very simple. Let's say you just want to get regular with your fitness. You know everything, and I don't have to get into the benefits of exercise and the antidepressant properties, weight control. I don't have to talk about all that. You know all of it. You just decide today you want to join a gym, for example. You go to the gym. Within 3 or 4 weeks, when the drop-off occurs, you have to get yourself onto a social media platform, which is a closed user group of the people in that gym. And the way this happens is by making friends. So the minute you make friends, arrange a dinner, go out with them. You are not doing this with the aim of just making friends. It is because there are people of high energy there. You have to connect with them on some platform. And when you connect in that WhatsApp group, typically there will always be one influencer who will put his or her head up and start posting every day. Now you have a choice. Initially you may jump, if you're an extrovert, you will jump into the liking, sharing, all that stuff. But if you're not one of those, you might just be someone who watches. Now the beauty of watching is it puts no pressure on you. You can just absorb content, go to the gym every day, expect that post, watch it, get happy, get inspired. It's all about inspiration. Now what happens after 6 months? The burden of inspiration starts coming on you. Okay, how long will I seek it without appreciating it? And we are all social beings, so you will appreciate it today or tomorrow. Congratulations, you have graduated from level 1 now to level 2, which is now the influencer expects you to like the content he's putting every day. And now that that expectation is set, you will wake up every day not seeing your exercise, first seeing the influencers and liking it. And there will be that one fine day where you will do that breakthrough workout. You might run a 5K, you might lift 25 kg bench press. That little thing where you have gone out of your comfort zone, you have posted that. And the entire chain of 90 people plus the one influencer have liked that. You have now become an influencer. Now your life's never the same again. Because a very unique thing will start happening with you. The minute you head out to the gym again, there will be a newcomer who has joined the gym 6 months to 8 months after you. Who will walk up to you and say, you know, I saw that post of yours the other day. It was insane. I'm so happy. You're an inspiration to me. You're like, me? I'm an inspiration. They're like, yeah. And that day, as Steve Jobs says, the day you realize you can do things that will inspire other people, your life is never the same again. And it's really that simple. But my message to you today, especially for the next generation, I know there's a lot of insult comedy that you're like to do, but there's a world of sensitive requirement out there. There are a lot of people under a lot of pressure, and we don't know the backstories. Like, had you heard so many backstories today, okay? You don't know what other people are going through and how much difficulty it's taken them to even come where they've come. Obesity, diabetes, any chronic illness puts a lot of pressure on the brain. So before you put a sarcastic comment over there, just first appreciate. And trust me, one thumbs up from you will not just motivate that person, it will add meaning to your life. And at the end of the day, as you get older, there may be times where you may neither be the person who does the exercise, you may neither be the person who motivates, you might just be the admin. You may just be watching. But as you cross 55, 60, 65, every place you enter, try and create these vibrant communities and protect them. Because inspiration, as Nelson Mandela said, the whole country needs inspiration. We don't need anything else. If you're inspired, you'll do anything. You'll go to the moon. But to start with, just today, when you go back and you see someone at a weaker position than you, just do this. You never know, that's all that person needs to change their life. Thank you very much.